Now, for one who's an addict of both cricket and wine, commentating and reporting on one, tasting and writing about the other, makes a perfect combination. You've seen some of the cricket, you've seen the cellar, you've seen the wine books. Now listen to some of the other joys. Cheers.
And Lindwall seizes it. He's just going to bowl with a new ball now from the grandstand end. Goes through the usual Lindwall bout of physical jerks. The shirt is now comfortably loose, and it fills with wind as he comes up now from the grandstand end. Bowls the first ball to Hutton, a magnificent outswinger. Hit for 4. Now that was hit on the half volley by Hutton for 4, and a difficult ball it was to cope with. Over its last 2 yards, it went 8 inches. It went off the line of the middle and off, clean outside the off stump. And Hutton, right over it, hit it firmly past the somnolent Toshak at point for 4 runs. And now here comes Lindwall again to Hutton, and that was a magnificent in-swinger that bowled him off his pad. Well, that was another magnificent ball. It's got rid of Hutton, and he is out. Bowled Lindwall, 81. Hutton bowled Lindwall, 81. England are 100.
Loader to John Goddard, faced yet again with an innings collapsing about his ears. He settles, those fieldsmen group themselves round. Loader comes in, bowls to him, bowls him all over the place. Roping down the line of what was to him an outswinger. The stump leaning drunkenly back. West Indies are 142 for 8. And now indeed, Sonny Ramadin's batting capacity may be searched. 142 for 8. And the possibility, I think, is now not to be precluded that England may bat tonight and sample themselves the effect of a new ball in this light and in this atmosphere. The bowlers now very much on top. These two pace bowlers have done a very fine job on a wicket that has never been really fast. And now as Ramadin comes in, walking at a brisk military gait, to be joined by Alexander, who must have a few butterflies under the bottom ring of his sweater. The thought of his first test innings, the close fieldsmen group up. Graveney first, Cowdrey second, Shepherd third, Smith in the gully, Lock leg slip, Truman backward short leg, Evans standing back. 7 of them in a half circle round the bat as Loader from the pavilion end comes in, bowls to Ramadin, and Ramadin skies it, and Truman's under it, and he's caught it just by the square leg umpire, and West Indies are 142 for 9. With Ramadin caught Truman, bowled Loader, swinging, 142 for 9, and for Loader, a hat-trick is on. Come in, if you will, Norman Yardley.
Well, there's no doubt about it. These two really have made this new ball move about in this heavy atmosphere. The wickets had nothing to do at all with any of the wickets that have fallen today. It is purely the heavy atmosphere, and the ball has moved about through the air. And now, of course, the excitement is boiling up, everybody wondering whether Loader is going to get his hat-trick. I can't quite remember. Can you, John, when the hat-trick was last done in a test match?
I can't, no.
I can't offhand.
I know a man named Matthews did it in the Triangular in 1912, if that's any help to anyone, but I don't remember one since then. Now, it is the luckless Gilchrist to face Loader, with again those 7 close fieldsmen grouped round the bat, and 3 up out in the defensive positions, and Loader from the pavilion end comes in. Now bowls to Gilchrist, and he's bowled him all over the place. It's a hat-trick, and Loader is jumping about like a monkey on a stick, and everybody coming up. Fred Truman, bless him, flung both arms round Loader, And Locke coming up to pat him on the back. And now I'm afraid, Jack Bryce, the question is truly relevant. When was a hat-trick last done in a test match?
All bowls. Dexter flicks down the leg side, another no ball, and Hall hangs his head quite penitently. May well be, I fancy, that English umpires, since the new rule, the front foot rule, have become altogether more no-ball conscious and find, in fact, watching the back foot easier in terms of quickness of shout than watching the front foot. And this is a strange thing, but so it seems to be. The front foot call comes slower than the back foot call. In again comes Hall from the nursery end in. Bowls to Dexter, who gets over it and hooks it imperiously downwards past McMorris up at silly mid-on for 2. McMorris turns to the alarm of an otherwise peaceful pigeon and throws back. The pigeon takes off and goes straight into the pavilion. 39 for 2, 5 to Barrington, 25 to Dexter. And still this ominous-looking field with the men deep for the nick and up close for the man who plays back so that the ball pops up. And Hall ruefully tenses and flexes his right foot, sweeps in again.
No ball.
Bowls to Dexter, another no ball, it's cut for 4. One's a little sorry to see this, and I could wish, in fact, that the white marker would be produced, which was such a help to English pace bowlers in particular in recent seasons, this white metal marker to show the taking off point. And it'll take a bowler back a few inches and save him bowling a no ball under the old rule. I feel that would be a great help to these two, because there's little doubt that they're bowling in their normal style and there's no attempt to take an advantage. Hall comes in, bowls to Dexter, gets over it and hooks in magnificently. Away there, down to mid-wicket. It's chased but fruitlessly by McMorris. It's another 4. This takes Dexter up to 33 out of 47. Of course, he's made bigger scores than 33 in test matches, and he may well do so this time. But I think I've never seen Dexter bat more reassuringly nor more commandingly.
And Lilly setting now a field of immense hostility. 2 short legs, 4 slips, 2 gullies, only 1 man out, that's Davis. And he moves in to bowl to Underwood with the chant of Lilly, Lilly in the background, in, bowls short. Underwood goes back, plays it down on the onside. Loves to stick on the line, this boy, and be a night watchman and prove that he's a bit of a batter. And the crowd now, as the sun and the beer combine, do their work away in the distance, letting out the chant of Lilly, 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 and appealing for some quite remarkable non-events. So then Lilly comes back to the beginning of his long run. He's looked occasionally to be flagging a bit. Moves in now, just Underwood's face in the light, the rest of him in shadow. Lilly comes in, bowls to him, and he plays all across that, gets an inside edge, and plays it down to Walker at backward short leg. There is no deep fieldsman, and there's only really 1 man in front of the wicket. Cozier is fractionally in front of square at short leg. Davis is at wide mid-off come cover point, but then 4 slips, 2 gullies, and a backward short leg. The other hazard at the moment is a colony of silver gulls, several hundreds of them. At first they pitched on the top of the stand as if they were vultures recruited for Lilly, but now they've come down onto the ground in considerable numbers. Lilly then comes in again, bowls to Underwood, right up to him, he turns that off his legs. It's away on the leg side, and they've gone for 4. And it's not often that Underwood hits Lilly for 4, and there was a brief exchange of what are usually called pleasantries, and Underwood steps up. Still this grotesque effect of his face lit by the sun, the rest of his body in shadow, as Lilly comes in, both short to him, and he goes right back, unflinching, and plays it down at his feet. And Cozier hurries in to pick the ball up for Lilly.
And a freaker. They've got a freaker down the wicket now, not very shapely, and it's masculine. And I would think it's seen the last of its cricket for the day. The police are mustered, so are the cameramen, and Greg Chappell. And no, he's had his load, he's being embraced by a blonde policeman. And this may be his last public appearance, but what a splendid one. And so warm. Many, of course, have done this on cold rugby grounds, but this chap has done it before 25,000 people on a day when he doesn't even feel cold. And he's now being marched down in the final exhibition past at least 8,000 people in the man stand, some of whom perhaps have never seen anything quite like this before. And he's getting a very good reception, which is acknowledged in extremely gracious fashion. And at least he's being escorted off by an inspector, and no play will be restarted until he's gone. Fine performance, but what will they do about finding his swimming trunks?